Pata, pinuno pata.
Unnu sakkutungasagutsi igalaatakutsoolermitillugu iivamai kuriunga pingasut asivartiit utingiinerneqartooloortukingarni naipitausimanertut naipitauqoyuullumi khulaaguulikkut nunavukavummakku uqarsingimaluttugit asivartiit kingarni avla tuminiuneqartaulut pinasuorusserilaortatinni tuttuliarneqartaulluti nunakkuqinertaulertutik pinginnartuleqijikkunnu nunavummi imaagullu khulaagu qangatayuukkullu qinertaulluti nunakkullu nunavukavamakkungi kiujunnersilaungittuit maannamutukittugu nami naipitaulunarmangaatassukutianik qanuinmangaatalu tamanuqquun tummariujortauvani qitermiuni tabbani pinasuarusiu nunguani tikiutiniarneqartauluni nunavummi qanimattailimayoloqajikkut ujirusequyijui qullortuumiuni kuugaartermiunillu tamanna uunarneqijanga tikiutiniarneqartauluni 33 nik uunarnelimmik tamanna iliqquseqiyaugajuнгиттуугало таувани қитермиуни уллуми хуллуртууq 11 аққаагунут хутсинерпаангулертууq уққуунеқиянга нериугуяулуни 31 degrees ник уққуунеқарниарнеқартаулуни Natalie Hazel силалерииккунниингаартооq.
You're not acclimatized. You don't see this very often.
Nunavumi ilingangilnattigu sila uqquutillugu. Teemaagaalo uqquutigiunnangikkaluarma. Amisunu ilingayaungittu. Qanittumillu napaartui ikinninginnu pujuurtuni. Nunavu napaartoqangikkaluartuni pujummu tikitauqattarma ikittunu. Teemaak uqquuyualuk pujurlukatittugi akaungittualumma. Qanualulli nillarsernaaqatta pujuurtillugu. Igalaarmi matuingattinasukkaluarluta akaunani. Igalaarlu matuguttigu uqquuluartuni.
Right? If you open your windows, you're going to bring bad air inside. If you close your windows, you might get too hot.
Unnukut uqunarneqarniarneqartauluni 20 degrees ning taakua kikkutuineet ujirusu huyaujuguluat qanimmanniusangikkaluarmangaata uunarninganut aupallaalingikkaluarmangaata qatsillaanlutiluunniit taqa juumikutilluunniit uqunniusa yuujaaqutilluunniit naatsinguyalarniarmi tamanna qanuigunnier paaliniarneqartuuyugaluaq taakua kanatamisikusiutileriikku atsiisimalertuut aippanganiumiartuarmik sirmilermi atsertaq taana malittugit atuagait atsiilangaleqaimmata atortaugialiit malittautsiartutik ukiortartumi imavimmilu qauisartiit umiartuangit atsirtaugialiit nunanguatigut utsirnaq niu jukkullu ubbaluunni nalunaikkutanginnik sirmilertitut sirmileq mirnuiservi mitsimataliu qikertaaluani Joshua illaut meeyunga tatungiligianga uqartu tamanna piujummariugianga qallunaaniingaartunut ilisaqijatsaujunnertutu pimmeriuneriangna atsiiniuvattuup
tamanna attarsuinneq pimmariuqutiigattigu innuulluta innuit apersortauqattarma takkissumit tamanna attarsimammangaa kisuunnammangaatluunni nunaqoti atituinnaunasugiyauqattarma tapimmariuqutigittillutigut ujjeriaqattartuannuuleqattattusartaaqqattartuannuuleqatta uppigeqattartuagat
ai pangaumiartua atsertaminersimminermi Yukon miittumik iqaluleriakkut umiartualeriikkullu uqartut umiartuat kanataup kanannanganni langajut piitserlutit ukiukurnersami taakua uqartsutitaana CCGS serminek imaalaartu 2020 sanguleqqat pannirtuumi agaaqerti taako white horse muut upalungaajaqpallialermijuvit ukiortartulimaamiute uvikkait agiaqerti katimajartut simaninginni August 21 mid 24 mut naman katimaniujoq atuin pivitserratitsivattoq ukiortartumiuni makkuttuutinik ilinniasinnaa katimatitauvattutik uqaqatigunnasilaurakku qaugakkuinila naadiamittoq taanaaqitsuyioqataujoq ullumiqaqatigiqqaujaqatautukainerlavun nakormi taima uqauserigunnaruvio pannertuumi agiaqetti katutiqatigiingit qangapigialorsimavisi qatsiuvallu
pigialorsimayugu ilisavimmi qanayartiullunga ilis taakkua agiaqattayummata illurusimitigu teima pigianga tiqalorsimayugu tikittoqalorsimamma qallunaaniingaartuni teima pivalliaqattaliyummata June tamani palo pigiayugu taakkuangulluta 8 ulluta aulanniusayugu qallunaano agiaga rea niusallutalo ila taakkua wati niusallunga piniusayugu
Raapi. Taima parnapalliallitussingilaata upunga white horse laaqtillusi uqauseriguviu aularnerilaaqtasi sulaarmangaatsillu.
White horse mu pallialuta teima ilisaqqaaqattalaamiyue katimaqattarluti ullu atausi kingulleppaaleqqata atautikku takusautiti yuqaqayattunillu white horse ni.
Ammalo uqauserigunnaruvio kisuumanga Northern Youth Phil Summit. Wai ammalu summa ilagayaunnermangaatsi.
Sivulleppaami piqataugiuttungalu taakkununga apiriyauyugamalo qalluna kem saqiya aullaqatigi gunnammangaakillu apiriyaulorsimallunga kamagiuttungalu teimiittuni ni teima oqoyolorsimagattalu piqatauqui mata pannertuumio taakkua aullaqatigilaatavu ayungittiartuti qanuingittiartuti piqatauniusammata
Qanutigi tamanna parnasimavvisiu ammalu qanu kausitsiarunnaqa.
Qanu qoyoriunga meimi palu June mi pigiattayugui taakkua suqusi teima nuqqalaalettillugu ilinniarbi tabbunga katiqattayuyui ilinniariiqaimmata tabbunga qatigillugi ammalu qalluna kem teima ilisatittiqattartuni taakkua takunnatuinnartugi ilaannikullu pigunnangigeimmata ilisatittiqattartunga pigiuqaluartillunga sivulleppaami kisianittau teima kayusigasituinnartunga teima pigiuttayuvugu tabbuna nalugiruyu
Nadia taimatta qanu aqqaagulimaaq tamanna agiaqarti katutiqatigiinderivattasi unikkaariguviu qanuittummangaaq aullaqattarsimavisi asinginnu nunalinnut ubalunni nunatsini takornaatitsivappisi.
Okay. Ilisavimmi ilaannikku pingoavimmi takuqarnaartau qatau vammiyui kisiani illorusimingatigu taanna 8 students Pan Summit sivulleppaariniusalluniullu and sivulleppaami aullariuttarniusavui teima ilinniariiqaimmata tabbungappattugu illorusimmu ilisatittigiartuttunga piyunnattiaqullugi makitattiaqullugu ammalu suyassaquluyanni qiniqatta suungummata ilangi suqusi teima ikayorumaliyugakki taana saqqiiqatau simammiyunga
Kulu teima nuqqanginittinni uqausriguviu qana tamanna tukiqarmangaa ilinnut agiaqartiuniujut ammalu ilagiyauneriyangi nunatsinni.
Qoyaliviutittunga sivulleppaariniusallugullu ila taakkua kulu isuqusi piyun na kullugi pikataw kullugillo uuttuqasu qatawumaliyugama ikayutti qaqattartunga uvangaangiyuqqaanginni Elisabeth ila principles ni ikayu apiriyauliyugama ya pigunnartunga ikayuqumayakka taakkua suqusi piyunna kullugi uvagununalinganu teema makikkanne kullugi uuttuqumaliyugama.
Igalaaq qavitsangatikittareravoq iqqaatitsigimavuguttautuppattanik CBC Igalaaqkutigut saqqiyaarpattuqqaritauyakkutakunnaqatsaullutik tuqaarutinga cbc.ca/north ammalu CBC Jamkutigut ammalu YouTube kutigut tautugatsaavattungilaq nakormi tautuqataartusi nakormi Cameron Lane ajiliqijivut Eva Michael Junga ilunasiunnuqatsianeeqqisi inuuqatikkaitabbausi.
We carry a world of information in our pockets because we want to know. Breaking news that shapes your world.
All right.
Reporting from the scene onto your screens.
Dropping the 8 now. We are just approaching Gaza.
With local CBC Radio 1 Live to connect us closer to home. It's news you can trust, delivered when you want, where you want. On the CBC News app. Download for free.
Moments that are so on trend right now. Ticket pricing, artificial intelligence, being a Swiftie, wild fashion trends, showbiz, and cancel culture. Join me, Alameen Abdul Mahmood, for Commotion, available now on CBC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.
Congratulations on making the cut.
I worked for what I got.
People are going to come at you whatever way they can.
But I'm in trouble and they're building an Inukshuk. They come across them miles from anywhere. Well, maybe now I'll find out what they're for.
She said, now the people will know we were here. Now the people will know we were here.
Good evening. Welcome to Northbeat. I'm Megan Roberts. The majority of Canadian origin Yukon River Chinook salmon in this year's run have now crossed the border. As forecasted, the numbers are poor, but slightly better than recent years. Jackie Hong reports.
Just more than 19,000 Chinook salmon had been counted at the Eagle Alaska sonar as of midweek. The run is now more than 3/4 complete. Alaska fish managers have described the run as well below average, and it's almost certain that the border passage goal of 71,000 fish will not be met. This year's run is larger than the runs last year and the year before, but it's a low bar to cross. 2022 was the worst run on record, while 2023 was the second worst. The fish that did show up this year are gradually making their way to their Yukon spawning waters, including on the Pelly, Porcupine, and Big Salmon rivers. The Whitehorse Fish Ladder saw its first Chinook this week. The salmon who make it here have among the longest freshwater migrations on Earth. Chinook fishing remains closed on both sides of the Yukon-Alaska border. Jackie Hong, CBC News, Whitehorse.
Imagine charging an electric vehicle with power from the Northwest Territories' mighty Mackenzie River. A project that could do just that is still in its early stages, but it's already showing promising results. The CBC's Leanie Lambrink has that story.
The Big River Service Centre in Fort Providence is on the banks of the Mackenzie River. It spends about $200,000 a year on energy, and it hopes to be the first company in the NWT to ditch diesel for hydrokinetic emission-free energy instead, using a turbine to turn the power of the decho into electricity.
If you look at a windmill, a big windmill, okay, you see blades, and then you can see the rotor turning, okay? It just so happens in physics, it doesn't matter if you got water or air. It's exactly the same physics. So the exact physics of a wind turbine is exactly what is a hydrokinetic turbine.
The Turbine Test Centre is testing one of these turbines in Manitoba. There's work and decision-making to do before bringing one to the NWT. Bibo and 4 interns from Fort Providence were studying the Mackenzie River's velocity last month. The results were positive.
I never really thought about what energy sovereignty was until I came into this, and now I'm pretty stoked about it. Because if we, as First Nations people, can control our own energy, that'd be pretty damn cool.
For Fort Providence, they have an excellent resource. And they have a good resource right now when the flow rate of the Mackenzie River, it's at its all-time low for the summer.
The next step is getting funding for a demonstration project. A consultant working on the project pegs the cost of buying and installing a turbine at $1.5 million. Even so, the manager of the service centre is confident the project will go ahead. She sees a future where the Mackenzie's power electrifies not just the service centre, but homes and vehicles too.
It would be huge, really. It's, I think of the pride that comes along with a project like this. In a community our size where there's only 200 homes, yeah, you put a couple of turbines in and it's bye-bye diesel. We become an all-green community.
A full demonstration project could happen in the next 2 or 3 years. Leanie Lambrink, CBC News, Yellowknife.
New research is shedding light on the mental scars that can be left by wildfires. It says governments should prepare healthcare systems for the lasting effects wildfires can have on the mind and the body. Jennifer Yoon has the details.
Helen Malone-Babineau escaped 2 wildfires in 8 years. First in Fort McMurray in 2016, then Yellowknife last year. Now she's starting over again.
I said, I think I will go somewhere a little bit, with more roots to escape.
After the wildfires, she sought therapy, but still feels stressed when she smells smoke. She wishes she had more mental health support.
I was just, a little lost.
A new study from the Lancet Planetary Health Journal says something as simple as timely communication with evacuees could make a huge difference. It's one of the policies being recommended by researchers on how governments can prepare health systems for wildfires.
What we've really recommended is really broad population level active soliciting of, hey, how are you doing? Going into schools, going into workplaces.
Other recommendations include minimizing delays in care, supporting healthcare workers' mental health, and community programs to help with stressors like insurance claims.
Recovery is a long process. The fire might be weeks and months. The recovery is usually years.
Within 6 months of a wildfire, up to 60% of adults might experience post-traumatic stress disorder, and others might experience a major depressive or anxiety disorder. Experts want to see programs targeting evacuees suffering from those treatable conditions.
I would very much like for there to be longer-term supports.
In Alberta, where wildfires are burning now, the health authority says evacuees should register with the government to access resources that are available.
If somebody were to reach out through the mental health helpline, they would be connected with a mental health counselor therapist.
As Babineau starts a new life in Halifax, her message for other evacuees: don't wait to get help. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Montreal.
2 vehicles were destroyed by fire in Igalaaq last night. It happened in the parking lot of a local bar. It took fire crews 45 minutes to extinguish the flames. There were no reported injuries, and the owners of the vehicles are not known. The cause of the fire is still under investigation by the RCMP. 3 hunters who were reported missing from Igalaaq, Nunavut have been found. The hunters left last Friday. They were looking for caribou between Igalaaq and Kimmirut. According to the government of Nunavut, crews searched by water, air, and on the ground. The government says the hunters were spotted today by a helicopter. No word on where they were located or their condition. Ottawa says the European Union's restrictions on seal products have directly impacted the lives, livelihoods, and culture of Indigenous and coastal communities in Canada. The policy restricts importing and selling of seal products in EU member states. Those restrictions are now under review, and Fisheries and Oceans Canada wants them repealed.
If the rules were to be repealed and replaced with imports of ethical and sustainably harvested seal products, I think that'll be great news for the sector, because not only would that allow, will it open up this big market, but it might also set a precedent for other parts of the world where they might see that seal products are being imported in the EU, and that will showcase how sustainable our products are. And we hope that that'll help the seal sector increase its sales not only in the EU, but also in other parts of the world.
The European Union did not immediately respond to the CBC's request for comment. The leader of the federal NDP says he's open to more carbon tax exemptions for the North. Jagmeet Singh spoke with NWT Premier R.J. Simpson today about northern issues, including the high cost of living in the territories. Simpson has previously called for a blanket carbon tax exemption for the Northwest Territories. Here's what Singh had to say about it.
I'm very open to a different approach being taken in the territory, an approach that fits. While we still ultimately bring down our emissions, we have to find ways that we do that recognizes the uniqueness of each place. And so I'm open to an approach that acknowledges the differences of different territories and different provinces. And so that's something I'm very open to and alive to.
The Northwest Territories has its own carbon tax right now. Diesel used for home heating is exempt from that tax until March of 2027. In Nunavut, a heat wave is sweeping over the Kitikmeot region. Those conditions will last into the weekend. Temperatures in Kugluktuk and Kugaruk could reach 33 degrees. Those temperatures are not a regular or normal occurrence for the region. Today, Kugluktuk is breaking an 11-year record with daytime temperatures expected to sit around 31 degrees Celsius.
You're not acclimatized. You don't see this very often. There hasn't been this kind of heat recently or anything close to it. So this could be pretty difficult for people to deal with. In addition, we have smoke from nearby forest fires. Even though Nunavut doesn't really have trees, it can certainly get the smoke from nearby boreal forest fires. So the combination of heat and smoke is particularly difficult, right? How do you cool off if you also have smoke, right? If you open your windows, you're going to bring bad air inside. If you close your windows, you might get too hot.
Overnight lows will be around 20 degrees Celsius, which doesn't give much relief from the heat. Nunavut's Department of Health is reminding people to stay safe during this heat wave. People should watch out for symptoms of heat illnesses like swelling, rashes, heat stroke, and heat exhaustion. Temperatures will begin to cool off in that region by Saturday. But it's not just Nunavut experiencing these hot temperatures. Communities straight across the north are feeling the heat. There are heat warnings in the Northwest Territory, stretching from the North Slave region all the way up to Inuvik. In fact, Fort McPherson set 2 all-time heat records this week, according to Environment Canada. Large parts of the Yukon are also under heat warnings, from Old Crow in the north down to Whitehorse in the south. With all that in mind, let's take a look at the forecast. And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, you can always go to our website, cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.
Her particular skill set can be helpful to us.
She's a con artist.
Instead of using your talents for crime, you'll be playing on our team. I'm a cop.
You're not a cop. You have a badge?
Not yet.
A gun?
Soon.
Not ever.
I need to get off that boat and back to being a full-time detective. And you need to stay out of prison. The best way we do that is to keep our heads down and do as we're told.
90,000.
90,000.
The department will cover it, right?
No, they won't.
I was a grade 9.
Mr. Critch, you need glasses. Glasses? No, I just think the chalk is just a little soft.
One of these days, we're gonna have to grow up. But today is not that day.
I don't want us to get older either.
Son of a Critch. Watch free on CBC Gem.
Are you ready to be entertained?
Stand-up comedy best comedians from across the globe.
Oh, great.
An incredible lineup. Canada. Are you ready?
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
CBC's got the best in stand-up comedy.
That's pretty unbelievable, man.
It's a scam. It's a scam.
No f***ing way.
Oh, it's a bit spicy.
It'll change your life.
Catch it all free on CBC Gem.
Well done.
Y'all give it up. Give it up.